Name Sacks, right?
Hmm,
Okay.
correct.
Welcome everyone to the Cracking Open podcast. We are literally with an angel today. Her name is Donna Sacks, and I want to just tell a little bit of background. Well, first, welcome, Donna. We're so glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
So, I find people to come on the podcast in the most interesting ways. I have followed my intuition on every single guest that has come. And so, Donna, I went to this incredible place in Palm Desert in California called Two Bunch. And Donna is an angel card reader there. And I did not miss one of her days. I was there for 4 days and I was at every single card reading. And I just knew that Donna should be on the podcast to share her wisdom, her story, and her vision for humanity. So, welcome, Donna. We're so glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor, really.
Oh, well, I always begin with intention. So, if you had an intention for anyone listening today, what would that be?
It's to remember how powerful we really are, that we are in a time of really tapping into our higher selves. It's like becoming supernatural and not having to follow the laws of how it used to be. And especially with what's going on with the karmic situation.
Mm.
So a lot has changed. I've been doing this for the last 60 years. My angel started calling, actually 61. My angel started calling my name when I was 17. Every night for 3 months, it was Donna, wake up. Until after 3 months, I said, okay, what is it that you have to tell me? So I've been on my spiritual path, like I said, for over 60 years. So, but right now, and of all the information that I have channeled over the last 60 years or so, the most important thing is what's happening on the karmic debt situation.
Mm.
So every lifetime we've ever come in, our soul split into pieces. And those are our soulmates. They were all shards. That's what your soulmates are. And you could have 20, 25 soulmates. Soulmates push your buttons. And I know Hollywood looks at soulmates as the end all and the be all, but it's completely erroneous. A soulmate basically it's basically a contract. So our every lifetime we've ever had, we came in with contracts. And these are contracts with souls that we've come back over and over again to get it right. Well, if you are on your path of waking up to your higher self, then you are in the process of balancing all of your soul contracts.
Mm.
Right now, we are in the process of the reunification of the soul. That makes us whole souls again. So we don't require anyone or anything to complete us any longer. And that's why there's been so many separations and divorces, especially over the last 6 years when this karmic situation really started to shift. New babies started coming in 6 years ago with no karma. They're whole souls upon birth. They're what we call seventh generational golden root diamond babies. And if you've ever been around them, they are like no other souls that we've ever been around before. They're brand new. So they didn't have to come in to work anything out. We're headed in that direction, but we started out, all of us started out with karma. That was how, basically rebirthing, it's all about coming back to redo whatever you didn't do in a past lifetime. But the
Okay,
only
can I
karma,
pause you there
yes,
for one
please.
second? Because I know people listening are like hanging on. Well, I know I am because I love all this stuff. But some people may be listening and not even know what karma is.
Okay.
So I'm going to just take you back a little bit and then we're going to jump into all that because I
Okay.
have about 7 questions for everything you just said. But can you tell us a little bit more about who you are? And, at 17, just a little bit about your history. And at 17 years old, when the angels started waking you up. And then how did you get to where you are today, reading angel cards for, what'd you say, 40 years? 50
60,
years?
60,
60. Oh,
65.
you look so good for your
Yeah,
age,
thank you.
Donna.
I was
So,
78 November, so
yes, it's because Donna is an angel card reader. And I'll tell everyone about you in the intro. But yeah, tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of how you got to this place. And then we're going to I want to jump more into the karma topic.
so I am a water sign. I'm a Scorpio. Water signs all have a built-in GPS system. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. I have one. And, right now, everybody should be opening up to their higher self if they're ready. But I graduated, I went to college, I became a school teacher, I taught back. I'm from Detroit. So I was living there and had a family. I have 4 kids. I was a school teacher. And then my angels told me to move to a place called Rancho Mirage, California. And that was in 1991. So in 1991, my whole family, my husband and 4 kids, we moved out to Rancho Mirage, and which is a suburb of Palm Springs. So from then on, I continued on my spiritual journey. I've had many, many experiences, out of body experiences. Akashic record, which is your book of life. I saw my own Akashic record. I saw every life I ever had. So we are right now, what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of making people remember who they truly are. So I started working when I didn't work for a long time. When I came from Detroit area, I raised 4 kids, and then when they got older, I started working at a metaphysical store in Palm Springs, and I worked there for 7 years, and was not the best experience for me. I really required somebody who was a little bit more connected to source. To It just wasn't a good fit for me. So one afternoon, I was meeting my daughter at Two Bunch, and she was the city attorney for Desert Hot Springs. That's where Two Bunch Palm Spas in Desert Hot Springs. And I met her there for lunch, and she said, "Mom, why don't you just go and see if would like to have somebody come and do some readings here?" And I thought, no, I don't. I wasn't happy where I was at, but the universe provided me a doorway. So I said, okay. So I went in, and sure enough, I gave the manager a reading, and they hired me the next day. So I've been at Two Bunch for almost 13 years now. And what I do there is I do angel card classes where everybody gets like a little mini reading. It just depends how many people there are. I do privates, and I do saging and intention setting. And intention is where it's all about right now. So that's how I got to where I am at this moment. And I love where I work. I meet wonderful people at Two Months. That's where I met you. So
Hmm.
yeah, and it continues on, and there's more people, and it is harder for men. It is a little bit more difficult for men for 2 reasons. Men come in with armor. This is the lifetime they've got to take that armor off. And also, the divine feminine came back in charge of this planet after 13,000 years. It's a 26,000 year cycle. We've been in the masculine for the last 13,000 years until December the 21st, 2012, where we had the shift of the ages. Now, that was the end of the Mayan calendar. That changed everything. So, for the last over 12 years, it's been let's just see what you can take without caving in. And it's been very difficult for many of us. We're all going through a major transformation right now. And for certain signs, like I'm a Scorpio, I'm a fixed sign. There's 4 fixed signs: Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius. We don't like to change. And right now, it's all about transformation. So I've got to let go of how things used to be. And the easier that you let go of how things used to be, the more things come into your life right now. We're carbon based right now. And carbon based units, carbon under pressure for 12 years, and we've been under extreme pressure for 12 years. It's been like the finals of life. Well, now you're looking at graduation, and either you become a bright, resilient diamond, that's what happens to carbon, or you disintegrate, one or the other. So we are finally coming into what we call, again, where we are becoming whole souls. So this is a time of feeling more powerful than ever before. And power isn't control, is basically, doing what your soul wishes you to do and speaking your truth.
Okay, there's so much beautiful wisdom there, and I want to tell everyone listening to I should have said this in the beginning, get a pen and paper because when you're with Donna, all you want to do is write things down and it will make sense later. I promise you. And just about the carbon becoming a diamond, about your karma, about your sign. So there'll be so much information. But I want to again take us back a little bit. And I'd love for you to share and when you said my angels came to me, some people, everyone knows what an angel is, but how do our angels serve
I
us? How do you
I
hear them?
hear.
And how do you hear your angels? Okay. And can you tell us about the angels and what they represent? And
Yeah, and I started off with what we call a doorkeeper, and he came to me as Joe. That's the one who started calling my name.
Joe?
Joe. Yeah, 61 years ago. I know. I
Is
know.
there an angel Joe?
Well, I did not know there was one, so
I mean, I know
after
Michael and
yeah, right.
Gabriel and
Okay, so he is what we call a guardian angel. He's not like a archangel. There's different. There's a different hierarchy of angels. Okay. And this is what we call a doorkeeper or a personal spirit guide. I'm super sensitive. As I said, I'm a Scorpio. I'm very, 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 very super sensitive. When you're extremely super sensitive, you get what we call a spirit guide or a doorkeeper. Okay. After 10 years of calling him Joe and getting information from him that was part of why we moved out to California was because I was told by him to come out here. And after 10 years of calling him Joe, I said, what is your real name? And he said it was Atanawa, which means creator of all that is. So, when I talk about him, I get the chills, when your cells ring, because he is a very, 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 very powerful influence and guide in my life and has been, like I said, since I'm 17. So it's basically we he is the one who has been with me all this time. And then we have the archangels like Gabriel or Uriel or Michael or Raphael, or Jophiel. These are all archangels. So that's a different category of the angelic realm. The spirit guide or doorkeeper is different. And many times, if you're super sensitive, you will get, and mine happens to be a Native American, an indigenous guide. So a Tanawa, and I've seen him at the foot of my bed when I had my first out of body experience. He was there in full headdress waiting for me. Because I don't know if any of you have ever had an out of body experience, but it's very, very scary. It's like leaving your body in a helicopter, and there was no drugs involved. It was just one night I closed my eyes and I just had this experience. And it really took me to a place of a higher understanding of what life really is. And it's not what it seems to be. It's an illusion. And the more that you get caught up in worry and fear right now, that worry and fear used to be a roadblock. But right now, what you're worrying and fearing, you're going to be attracting that to you. When we had the eclipse on April the 8th of last year, and most people didn't realize what that did. What that did was started off a chain of events that will affect our lives until March the 29th of this year.
that's my birthday.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
And
Molly.
I
Well,
love my birthday. What's
yeah,
March? Okay, so
yeah.
so what was the chain of events and what's going to happen on March 29th?
Okay, so on April 8th, when we had the first eclipse, that started off the reunification of our souls right now. So we had another eclipse on October the 5th that intensified that even stronger. And then on the last eclipse on March the 29th, it's like a trifecta of eclipses. You're going to get whatever you're putting out to the universe. That's the day of actually getting what it is that you've created in your life, what you're putting out to the universe. It started in April 8th when we had the first one. So I've been planting seeds since then. And this is part of my planting of the seeds, Molly, this whole podcast. Really, I'm telling you, be
Donna's
careful
never
what
been
you
on a
ask me for.
podcast and
No.
she's never been on Zoom. So you guys are getting a very special thing. So can I ask like a practical question about what you're
Sure.
talking about in regards to this? So should people now, let's say they didn't even know about this. They don't maybe look up what even an eclipse is because we're not going to be able to go through everything that Donna is saying and you're going to be able to explain it. But just to get practical. So should people listening, I got today, which I'm gonna have to air this sooner than I thought, um, like start planting seeds of I want to be healthier in my relationships. I want a different job. Like,
Right.
what does that mean, planting seeds? Does it mean
Okay.
writing it down? Does it mean
It,
going to the earth? I mean, does it mean
it,
praying?
well, it means never using the words want, need, try, or hope. Okay,
Want,
that
need,
try
try, or
or
hope.
hope. Okay. What it is co-creating your own reality. Using the words I am. I will tell you a really important story that happened to me, and it's a true story. I broke my foot on the eclipse. I fell a two bunch behind the front desk. Okay. And I fractured it in three places. And I was 77 at the time. So I went to urgent care, and they said, at your age, wear this boot and come back in 3 weeks. Okay. I did not wear the boot. I came and come back in 3 months, excuse me. I came back in 3 weeks, and every fracture, I said, I wish for you to re-x-ray my foot. Every fracture was completely healed, Molly. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I use the words I am. That is planting seeds. See, when you use the words I am, I said every day, I said, I am healing. I am healed. And then I called in Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing. And within 3 weeks, every bone was completely healed. There was not one sign of a fracture. And that's a true story. Okay.
I believe you.
So, I mean, the doctor said, what did you do? And I said, well, I have my ways. And I do, because not only did I call on Raphael and I did the I ams, but also I had the belief system. And belief is 75% of it. You've got to believe. You've got to know that within your heart, what we're capable of doing right now. We're very powerful. We just forgot. This is the lifetime we remember. And I help you to remember who you truly are, and that's important to recognize because most people have like a layer of smog over them. They're confused. They have no idea what they're here to do. But right now, I'd say about 70% of the population has that layer still over them. We've got about 30% of the population that are waking up to their higher selves. That's what actually saved this planet on December the 21st, 2012. Because my information was this planet wasn't going to be here. That's how important a day that day was. That was the end of the Mayan calendar. So as we go further along talking about intention, that was my intention. I planted that seed. And I used the words I am healing. But the last I am is the most important I am. It is I am my I am. The I am are the words of the creator. The my is you, it's me. And then when you say I am my I am, that's the creation. So you, the creator, and the creation are all the same.
So you're
We're
pretty much
all
saying I am my creator.
I am my yeah, I am my I am. Yeah, I am my creation.
I am my creation.
Yes.
I am my
Yeah.
creation.
Yeah.
So
We've
would you
never
say people like, let's say, Donna, for you, you've been doing this since you were 17. It's probably like it's rote. It's something you know how to do. What if someone's listening today
anybody can do it.
that hasn't have any tools?
Anybody can do it.
Does she just wake up in the morning and say, I am
Okay.
my I am?
That's a great question. Okay. So I wake up, I say thank you. First thing, thank you. Gratitude is one of the keys of life. Okay. And then I call on my angels, whoever they are, everybody has different ones. I
How do
call
they
on my,
find their angels? I keep
well,
interrupting you, but I don't want
okay,
to forget.
that's okay. That's okay. Well, when I give a reading, there's certain angels that come through, and those are
Okay.
the angels you should call on. And I let you know who those are. And then I call on my loved ones on the other side of the veil. And those are very important to us as well to help us along. They've never been, our angels and all of the angelic realm have never been as close as they are right now. We never could have made it through the last 12 years without their help. And then I use the I am. Every day, I am healthy, I am loved, I am grateful, I am resilient, I am forgiving. Whatever your I ams are, everybody's are different. But as long as the I am, my I am is the last one, you have sealed that in for that day. And I do it every day. I don't miss a day. Anything you do, Molly, that you do every day works, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's diet, exercise, whatever it is, you've
Mm-hmm.
got to do it consistently. And I don't miss a day. So I'm saying anybody can do it. For healing, on all kinds of healing, that's Raphael. Michael is the angel, and these are the really important angels that are helping us right now. Michael is the angel for men, especially because he can help men to take off their armor. He's also helping us on our spiritual path. And then Gabriel is the angel of messages. And then the last one that's very important is Uriel, because Uriel is the angel of co-creation right now, of planting those seeds. And then one more angel I call on every day is Jophiel, especially for women, because she came into our field when the divine feminine came back after 13,000 years. So it's really, when you call on them, that they have to show up. And most people don't realize that. That is a universal law. They have to give you a sign that they are there with them. And I get signs, same thing with your loved ones on the other side. They have to show up and give you a sign that they're there with you. So I get signs all the time,
You mean
constant
like butterflies, ladybugs,
butterflies,
finding
right,
pennies,
right,
you know,
or numbers, right?
numbers,
Numbers are
music?
big. Music, another big one. Music
Okay.
opens up the windows to your soul right now. I've never had as much respect for musicians as I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I do every day. Like I said, it doesn't have to take 60 years of doing it. Right now, we're all capable of becoming supernatural, of not having to obey the laws about how things used to be. So, but you've got to really, again, have that true belief that you can do it. And I do. I just got back my blood results and for my yearly physical, and they said, you have the blood of a 35-year-old. And I
Uh-huh.
know it. It's because I work with it every day. And another thing that I wish to bring up, and this is an important thing, is that remember I told you on December the 21st, 2012, this planet was scheduled for destruction when we had the shift of the ages. That was the date, okay? And what happened was people's Merkabas opened, and most people don't know what a
Wait, you
Merkaba
got it. Yeah,
is.
Merkaba. Okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
Merkaba.
Okay.
Merkaba is a Hebrew word. Hebrew is one of the power languages, and it means chariot of light. So out of my crown chakra, I have 55 feet of light. Now, I went to Sedona 40 years ago and got mine opened under a lot of initiation and meditation. It was called the Flower of Life. And gentlemen stopped doing it on December the 21st, 2012, because that's when people's Merkabas opened on their own.
And Merkaba,
So,
you mean like top of your head? Because there's
yeah,
people who are listening.
it's 55 feet of light that comes out of the top of your head and surrounds you.
And
It
surround
allows
you.
you and your higher self to become one. And when that Merkaba opens, you are what we call an earth angel. Because whenever you see angels, they always have halos, right? Always angels have halos. It's where their Merkaba has opened. So when your Merkaba opens on earth, you're an earth graduate or an earth angel. And it's a miracle that so many people's Merkabas opened on their own that gave us the impetus to, again, to become who we truly are. We just forgot. So this is the most important lifetime we will ever have. We get to remember who we really are. And that is a true gift. And we talked about music, all of us had to come in with the breastplate on our hearts because Earth is a very lower vibrational planet. There's 12 dimensions, and Earth has always been a three-dimensional energy since the beginning of time. But right now, we are changing with these eclipses. We're starting to feel that 5D energy, the dimension of miracles. And again, on your birthday is when we will officially enter that 5D reality where, again, things will come into focus, things that were obscured or were not available to us, we'll see a much different perception of life because we were We were given to life was only given to us like through a straw to see a picture through a straw. It's very narrow. But right now, come the end of March, we'll get to see life more like through a picture window. And again, you've got to, do certain things every day to create that to co-create your reality. The only karma we do have, and this is important, is instant. So what you're putting out there will come back to you. It won't take a lifetime. It will take as little as 20 minutes. Karma is positive as well as negative. It's what goes around comes around. So everything I do in life must have integrity. I cannot do anything that does not have integrity. The three laws of life right now are, integrity. Integrity comes from the Latin word wholeness, being a whole soul, not just talking it, but walking it every day, coming from that place of love and trust rather than fear and worry. And the second component of life is gratitude. That's why when I get up every day, I say thank you. And then I start my other, rituals. And then the last thing is living in the present moment, living in the now, the power of now. Be here now, because you've got to be in the present. If you're living, worry's a false illusion, you're in charge of it all. You're not. And when we let go of that worry, because right now, again, worry and fear used to be a roadblock. Now, what you're worrying and fearing, you're going to bring to you. Every thought creates a reality. So I'm very aware of every thought that I'm putting out to the universe because I know I'm creating that reality at that moment.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because it's so good. And there was so much beautiful information. And I want to go back to the Merkaba for 1 second.
Mhm.
Okay, so if someone wants to open their Merkaba or have this light coming from their head and all that, what would you say is like one or two things they could do
If
to?
they're listening to your podcast, it's already opened.
Oh, I love
Cracking
that.
open. What is the name of your podcast?
Cracking open.
Okay.
To
I
let the
get
light
chills.
in. It's the
To
Leonard
let the
Cohen
light.
quote. To let
Exactly. Exactly. I get chills. I get comfort. Exactly. If you're listening to this, your Merkaba has opened. Yeah.
Okay. I have another question I have for you. If you could, someone listening today, see, this is the thing, Donna. I'm listening. Well, I should speak for myself, but I'm guessing a lot of people listening are also saying, I want to be like Donna. I want my bones to heal in 3 weeks. I want to wake up being in the present moment with integrity. And I want to be able to like follow my guides and my angels but the reality is there's so many people that aren't in this place. And so if they either have, caring for ailing parents, or maybe their child is sick, or they barely can pay their bills,
Yeah.
or, all those life things, like you said. And when Donna's going to be talking about vibration. So 3D is what we're on now. 5D is a different dimension, which we'll get to if we can. But what would you say, just kind of getting practical around how to help people just even shift a little bit to be in a place of trusting and in the present moment with integrity and gratitude?
Well, Molly, I lost a son in a car accident. I don't know if you knew that. And that's the worst thing anybody can ever go through. Okay. Um, and when that happened, you know, I was able to talk to, his name was Stephen. And I was able to talk to Stephen after he passed. That's one of the gifts that I have, and look at things happen to us. That's part of life, right? There are windows when our souls can leave. And I never had an argument with my son, and he was almost 22 years old when he passed. And I can only tell you that anybody who has the capacity to just be a human being, we're so used to being human doings. Just be, I can only tell you what, it's not been easy. We all go through things in our lives. And what I went through is probably the hardest thing that anybody, and
I
if anybody's
agree.
out there, there's nothing like it. There's nothing you can't, that's the club nobody wants to belong to. But I get messages from him all the time, all the time. And that's why I say call on your loved ones on the other side, because they're part of your angelic realm. They are there to help you, to support you. So I can only tell you that what I do is it's just the part of again, opening you up to remembering what we're capable of. This is what's like living in the twilight zone. That's just the best way I could describe it. And I'm seeing it. I'm noticing more people are feeling that twilight zone energy. It's like I can't make up the stuff that's happening. It's just too incredible. See, once you start to open up and your Merkaba opened, then you see the connectedness of everyone and everything. What you're doing to somebody else, you're only doing to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And once people understand that, and again, you've got to do it every day. And I don't care, living under certain situations, I understand. But everything is changing right now. So, again, you don't have to live by the old laws of how things used to be because of the karmic situation. That kept us locked, especially I tell people right now, if you're in a relationship that's toxic, leave it. These are the time to make these changes. If you're in a job that you hate, leave that. This is all about co-creating your own reality by using those words. Whatever it is, I am creating a new love. I am creating, abundance, whatever I'm telling you, it works, but you've got to do it every day. And again, you've got to have that belief to know what we're capable of. I mean, I've had many experiences in my life, many super natural experience that there's so many I can't even go into detail, but I know that everything that I have gone through, it's happened for me. It hasn't happened to me. And that's what you have to understand in life. It happens for you and to make you see what really can be possible. All things are possible right now. That's why I'm saying we're becoming uh in a time where of enchantment where it's like pushing a rock up a mountain and now you're going down the other side.
Mm.
So it is again, this is the most important lifetime we will ever have. And I've seen every lifetime I've ever had. I've seen my own Akashic record. And if any of you are familiar with that, it's your book of life. And we are in a new book of life. That's what started on that eclipse, the first one in April. We actually started a new book of life.
Okay. Can I ask you? Yes, I did know you did share with me about Stephen. And in my heart, when I listened to that, Donna, you are so right that I've sat with a lot of people through different losses and traumas. And I think losing a child is the hardest one. Not that there's a hierarchy, but for some reason.
Right.
So when you say this is a hard question to ask you, but I think anyone listening who's had loss, which I think everyone has, when you say things happen for you, not to you, how do you explain that around the loss of a child?
Because I'm not in charge of that. Remember, every soul, you can't wake anybody up also right now. That's important. You know, to it for on I don't know if you're familiar, I'm sure you are familiar with Abraham,
I
Hicks.
am, but a lot of people may
Okay.
not be. So tell about Abraham Hicks. Yeah.
Okay, so after I lost Stephen, someone gave me a tape. I mean, Stephen's been gone for almost let me see, he would have been 49 this year. So he's been gone for about 26 years already. Okay. And so someone gave me this, and it was an Abraham, Hicks. She channels Abraham and is off planet being. And on the tape, the lady had lost a child. And Abraham says, well, you're so lucky. And the woman said, what are you talking about? He said, because, Earth is a very lower vibrational planet, and he didn't have to be here to go through what we have to go through. Okay. If you look at it at that understanding of that, it's like, the old adage, the good die young, and I understood that at that time. I felt like that was the best answer to what I had to go through. Okay. So whatever Stephen had to go through, he learned it all in the 22 years almost that he was here. And then then he went to another place. And Earth is hard. Life is not, this is the hard part. And
Mhm.
most people don't realize that this is the hard part. The transitioning, we continue on. And that's part of what I'm here to make people understand that, just because the body, which is just a shell, leaves, the soul still carries on right now. And even when we come back, and the major part of the soul always stays on the other side of the veil.
Say more about that. You mean
Yeah,
so when we
yeah.
die, our soul
The
stays on the other
major, yeah,
side?
the major aspect has always stayed on the other side of the veil.
And then
A
part of the
mi-
soul comes into the
right,
body when you're born?
right, right. A minor aspect comes into the new body. Right,
So
exactly.
if you're trying to be more whole, do you try to connect with the part of the soul that stayed on the other side before you came into a body?
You don't have to try to do anything right now.
Oh, interesting.
See,
Uh-huh.
that's the thing. It's not about, it's just happening on its own. And again, it's happening for, relatively few as compared to, 70%, like I said, are still living under a cloud of confusion, and they don't understand what they're here to do. And it's really important to recognize that every soul, as I said earlier, is on their own. Everybody wakes up when they're ready to. Everybody has the key to their own cage. Right
Mhm.
now, if you're waking up, you gotta let out a jail free card right now. And that jail has been our karmic debt. It has kept us locked into situations that were many times not for our highest and best good, but it's all we ever had was karma, and now we are karma free. It's like when they take the seatbelt sign off of an airplane. You're free to roam. Well, you're free to go wherever your soul wishes you to do right now. On a karmic level, you have no more soul contracts, and your parents are your soulmates, your siblings, it's not just your romantic partner or your at all. Most people don't understand the complexity of really what a soulmate is. And right now, and this is important to recognize, if you are in a relationship and you are both waking up to your higher selves, you will go from a soulmate, because a soulmate, you're like a moth to a flame. You had to come together to balance your karma. But right now, if you are both waking up, you are both becoming whole souls. That mean you will go from a soulmate relationship, which is an incompleted soul, to a completed soul relationship, which is a twin flame, which indicates that you do not have to complete them and they don't have to complete you. Your whole soul's on your own, but you're two lights that shine brighter as one. And if you're not in a relationship and you're putting that vibration out and you are on that in that process of waking up, then that is what you will bring to you. I am creating that twin flame. And I'm telling you, it's working right now. I've never seen as many, people are texting me and calling me after they've gotten a reading, or that they're seeing everything that I've told them come to pass. Even with these new babies, I even had obstetricians in my class that started delivering these babies 6 years ago that are amazing. They're little avatars.
Oh my
I've never
gosh.
I've never seen children. They're pure light. They're
I
pure
need to,
light.
I don't have that because I have a 17 and 19-year-old, but how long have you been married, Donna?
I was married 45 years, and then my husband passed away in 2018.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he passed away, and actually I went to work at Two Bunch, and I came home. He had passed away in the bedroom, And the day after he passed, uh, I was standing in my kitchen, and I had this white feather come down. And, in my kitchen, I'm saying, where does that come from? And that's my messages from him. He sends me feathers all the
Oh,
time. Yeah, it's funny how that worked out. That's always been his confirmation with me is feathers. When I went to I'll just give you an example. I went and got a different car a few months ago, and he loved Nikola Tesla.
the
That was his,
Tesla?
yeah, Nikola. No, but I'm talking about Nikola Tesla, the original, Nikola, the one who, about zero
Ah,
point energy. And he has been a proponent of Nikola Tesla for 50 years. He just loved all of his innovations and his thinking. So when I went to I had to get a new car, and my daughter said, "Let's go and check out a Tesla." And it was, for me, that was a big step. At my age, a Tesla, it's all computers. It's like, okay, I'll go and I'll test one. So I go into the car, I open the door up, and right on the ground in front of the door, there is a feather.
oh,
I get chills.
Donna, I
Exactly. So
love
that was
it.
That was my confirmation that that was what I was supposed to get. See, that's what I mean. It's like living in the twilight zone. I put it out there like, okay, I'm going to see where it takes me. And sure enough, that's where it led me. So that's how
Mm.
it works. That's how easy it can be. But again, you've got to do it every day. You've got to know that we are so co-creating our own reality, and we can co-create whatever we wish, again, using those words of I am my I am.
So I want to actually put this in practice. And what I thought would be wonderful in our last few minutes with Donna, because there's so much information here, is that Donna is going to do an angel card reading for me.
Mhm.
So, Donna, we have about 10 minutes. Is that enough
Okay.
time?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So
Okay,
you
so
can see the video on YouTube, or so people are watching. If they're only hearing, Donna will speak through it. But if you want to watch the video and actually see the cards, you can watch that on YouTube. But yes, so Donna, I guess we'll begin.
okay, so all I need from you, Molly, is your complete name and your complete birthday.
Molly Jean Carroll, March 29th, 1971.
Okay, so I'm going to take the crystal off. I'm going to knock on it. When you give me your name and your birth date, I it allows me to pick the cards for you. Okay, and then I tap into also your Akashic record. All right, which is your book of life.
And when you say Book of Life, can you say a little more about that while you're
Yeah.
doing the cards?
So the book of life, we all came in with the book of life. There's only one book of life that we've had in every lifetime we've ever come back. Okay. As of April, we started a new book of life of 2024. When I knew that there's an actual book. And I asked when I saw my every life I ever asked, I asked, can I see my book? And the first book, the old book, had thousands of lines that were intersected, and that was my karma. It was all the souls I came back to redo whatever I didn't do in a past life. Okay. Then on April the 1st, I knew the new one started, and I said, can I see my new book? And sure enough, that when I opened up the book, it was empty. And the only mark on the page was me moving that pen. So I'm in charge of my own reality. There's no more karma. And imagine what that feels like. It's the most freeing thing in the world, Molly. So
And
I'm
when,
going to
and when
go
you
ahead.
say opening your book, just one quick question. Do you mean are you seeing it in your mind? Or are you like imagining
I
it? What do you
see it.
mean?
No, I see it.
So you're like closing your eyes and you
I see
see
it.
this book
Yes.
and you see the lines and then you keep your eyes closed and you open them
Yeah.
again and there's no lines. Okay.
Yeah. I
So
see things
you
all.
called in the Akashic
Yes.
records for
Exactly.
yourself. Okay.
Exactly. But once you get a reading, I can tap into your Akashic records too. That's what's giving me permission to tap into that. So the first card I got for you was blessings. So that's the card of Archangel Raphael. Raphael is the angel of blessing. So, Molly, your life is going to be divinely blessed from now on. Right now, I look at this card as really a card of, you see the roses, the flowers that are being showered on you. It's a beautiful card. And I use the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels deck. It's her first one. And to me, it's the most powerful deck that there is out right now. So she's also going through a transformation. It's hard to get any of her decks, but this card for you indicates that you are being divinely blessed with what you're doing in your life. You're doing what your soul wishes you to do, and that's important. Have you ever heard of the rays of incarnation?
No.
Okay, so the rays of incarnation are not like auras. They stick out of your head like a bar graph. There's a lot of activity in the crown chakra area, and they never change. And they go down in order, a descending order of what your soul's purpose is. There's two colors that represent what you're here to do. So this card represents that you're a born healer and a born teacher. Raphael is the born healer and born teacher, angel. So that's what your soul wishes you to do. That's being a green ray. And green rays are here there's 7 colors. And if you're doing what your soul wishes you to do, then you are in complete alignment to your higher self. So your life will be showered with blessings because you're here to do what your soul wishes it to do. It's a beautiful thing to do what your soul. That's when you're in your power.
Hmm.
And then the second card is the orange. This is the highest card in the deck. There is no card higher, the spiritual growth card. This is my card. So I know you see the Merkaba open now.
Yes. Uh-huh.
There's your Merkaba. It's completely wide open. This shows that your second color is an orange, which means you're like a guide. You're like a bridge to other dimensions. You're here to help people, to help humanity. You're here to bring peace. That's what orange rays are here to do. So, I can only tell you when these two cards come up as the first two, you are definitely on your path of waking up. There's, like I said, there is no card higher. And you see the sparks coming out of her hands. Those are new chakras. We have 13 chakras now. We don't even have seven any longer. And two are within our hands. And that's what I used with my foot. I used my hands as a healing tool on my foot every day. And sure enough, again, it worked.
Boy, am
And
I
then,
lucky. Boy, am I lucky.
yes, I mean, you got amazing. But again, I'm just picking them randomly. And
Yes.
then again, oh, geez, the third card is the second highest card in the deck for your highest self. Wow. So you are an avatar, Molly. You truly are. These cards are showing you that you are doing what your soul wishes you to do. You are being divinely guided every step of the way. So everything you're doing in your life is going to become very easy. It's ease and grace. So just know that you have been divinely guided and it's going to continue. So listen to what you're receiving. Remember, sometimes we listen, but we don't always do it. Okay.
Hmm.
I know what happens when I don't listen to my higher self. I could kick myself because I listen what somebody else told me to do. Listen to that gut feeling. There's a new brain in our gut that scientists just discovered, the ganglia brain. That's the brain that you should listen to.
Mm.
And then I get the miracles card. And I kind of talked about we're officially going into the dimension of miracles on your birthday. So so just look for miracles to happen. Even calling on the parking angel. I do that all the time. And it works. It truly does. I say thank you. I say thank you for the spot. I am creating a parking spot, and within 2 minutes it happens. So the miracles card, it's a beautiful card, the light coming off of her hand. So you are a miracle worker. You're here to show what miracles that we can co-create in our lives right now. This is the co-creation card. So think big, don't settle. This is not about settling. You got to go big right now. Whatever was, we are in a time of co-creating. So this is your time to co-create. And then the body care card.
Oh,
So
that resonates.
yes. Work with, take care of yourself. You might have
Yeah.
noticed since October, we've been in kind of like a self healing mode. I've noticed that myself. So do what's best for you. If your body is telling you to do something, pay attention because on your birthday in March, right now, we are going to start to go into what we call going from carbon based to crystalline based. These new babies started coming in 6 years ago. They're crystalline, they're not carbon. They're clear souls. That's what's happening for all of us whose Merkabas have opened up. Also, when the Merkaba opens up, it slows the aging process as well.
I love
So,
that.
yeah. So the body cares. Listen to what your body is telling it has to do. And I'm going to pick two more, the new love and Archangel Michael. So new love could be about learning how to love yourself. Especially women, we're hard on ourselves, but there is more love coming into your life, more than you even know. And then Archangel Michael, he is the only angel in the deck that has an official card. He's helping you to waking you up to your higher self. He is helping you to cut the cords to anybody that's negative or any situation that's negative. He is one of the most important angels that we have on this planet right now. So that is your reading. I usually do, this is 7 cards for, a quick reading. So, because 7 is the spiritual number. So,
I am so grateful and what a gift that I got this and I appreciate it so much. Can I be a little vulnerable with you?
yes,
I can't believe
please.
I'm saying this on the podcast. So, this podcast I know is part of my soul. I know it is part of my
I
calling,
get
talking to
chills.
people like you. I know it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it has been a little bit of a struggle in the way that I get caught. And I know what you're going to say in my head. Like some episodes have thousands of downloads and some have 200. Advertisers aren't coming to me. I'm funding it myself. I'm paying for the whole thing myself. And I'm getting to this place in doing it almost 3 years where I'm like, am I, because it's like, it's feel like I'm giving, 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 and I receive everything from the conversations. And I do receive a lot from people's comments, but I don't know, there's something, a blockage here. Like I'm maybe not doing something right. It should be bigger. I should have more listeners. I should have,
It's going to change. I'm telling you, it's going to change.
is there, I
I
know
will
I'm going to
tell
say the
you.
word do, but is there anything
I
I
know.
should do or
Use those words. I am.
I am?
I am
Okay.
creating. I'm telling you, Molly. I have seen miracles happen with these words. I'm
Okay.
telling you. Don't I look at your cards. They're telling you you're doing what your soul wishes you to do.
I
But
feel
there
it.
might be something new coming in your life because you got the new love card. So there might be somebody that is going to hear something on your podcast, but there's something new coming into your life, and it's going to help you to even reach more people. So be
Mm,
open for that. Okay.
okay.
And I know it's gonna be like a miracle. So please just be open to new. Don't look at how things used to be. It's been different. The last 2 years have been the most difficult, I'll tell you. That's really when the ships hit the fan. Because life is not linear. It's a spiral. In the last 2 years, we've been in the backward part of the spiral. We just started coming out on the forward part in October 5th, and we had that second eclipse. So look at this next part of your life as it's going to raise up the consciousness of this planet. That's what happens when you reach the next spiral of life. And that's where you're at right now. So
I got to ask you this. I don't want to get political, but I know what's happening in the political landscape is bringing in a lot of fear. So what
I
would you
know.
say to people listening
This too
to
shall
the inauguration and all
this
that?
too this too shall pass.
Okay.
Okay, don't buy into it. When I was home I watched the insurrection, the whole thing. I don't buy into that. I don't feed that energy. Okay, what I do when I get up, I say thank you, and I call on my angels. Then I call and I send blessings to this planet every day. And that's all you can do. That's all you really don't live in the fear and worry because you're going to create that. Telling you, and
I
you've got
agree.
to. Thoughts create reality. Willie Nelson just wrote a song. Energy follows thought, and it's true. So you've got to understand that what you're putting out, don't buy, don't feed that energy. I'm not. All I can do is work on myself and then send blessings to the planet. Oh, you have to be the example. That's all you can do. Don't ever go down to somebody else's lower vibration. They have to come up to yours.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, we kind of end with a couple fast round questions.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, this one's probably going to be like you're going to probably have 10,000 people, but if you were at a dinner party and you could have two or three people dead or alive, who would you have and why?
Well, well, I would probably call on. That's a good question. I don't really know. Uh, I guess Gandhi was the first person that came to mind. I don't know why, but he popped up. And then I got Moses. And then I got Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my gosh.
Those are the three people. I actually and I know this sounds crazy, but I actually went to a party. It was like in a dream state with Jesus, with Buddha, with Gandhi, with some of these people I've mentioned, and it was like at this villa, and it was the most amazing experience I will ever imagine in my life. I've actually encountered that, so I'll tell you that we all though carry that sense of us of who we truly are. We could all be these supernatural beings. We just have to tap in and tune into that higher vibration right now. We're all capable of it. We all have, I get chills. We all have that inner ability to be who we truly came to be in this lifetime, becoming that avatar.
Hmm. Last question. What does love mean to you?
It's truth. That's all there is. There's nothing else but love. And when we understand, that's why also when I go to bed at night, I say forgiveness. So whatever I've done or whatever has transpired through the day, I say forgiveness. I say gratitude, forgiveness, and blessings. And I know that love is all about total acceptance and knowing that again, that's all there is. And to bring about the love vibe, because we are now actually, it's a great question, because 2 weeks ago we officially, Pluto went into Aquarius, which is the age of Aquarius, which is not about the outer, it's about the inner spiritual growth, and we'll be there for the next 17 years. This is
Mm.
all about it's not about outward, because we were in Capricorn for 17 years when we had the crash in 2008. Pluto was in Capricorn for the last 17 years, which was not about material success and what can I buy, what can I gain. Now it's about Pluto and Aquarius. What can I bring to this planet? What can I, what's my inner growth? What am I here to do? That's what true love is. And that's where we're headed right now for the next 17 years.
Mm.
So,
Any last words of wisdom?
just be the most important thing is to love yourself. Don't be so hard on ourselves. We are. It's just and to see the world as if it is brand new. Like these new babies are coming in. They're seeing it brand new. That's why they're so magnificent, because they're clear. We're headed there again. So we have a few more months left, about 2 more months. Let's plant these seeds. Let's co-create our own reality. Let's find the voice for the voiceless to help those. And we will. You'll see things are going to, but it's going to take about 17 years. I will tell you that. It started to trickle down a few months ago, but by 2024 or so, we started in 2000. It's going to take about 17 years, but we'll reach that. You'll see it in your lifetime. We will.
Mm. Donna, what a conversation. I feel like you took me to another place. I don't even know where I am.
I know. I take you to it. That's what happens. You just leave, because it elevates you. You see life from a different perspective. Yeah.
I thank you for your gifts. I
You.
thank you for following your truth because we need your voice in the world. I think so many people are scared of if they hear things like you hear, or they're going to be weird, or they're going to be woo woo, or all those words we
Yeah.
use to describe these teachers and healers and light workers on the planet, because you're one of them. And I thank you for following your love, which is your truth.
And again, we all have that clarity. We just have to just tap into it right now. It's
Mm.
you have the key. Everybody has their own key. You just got to put that key and unlock that door.